You picked him up?
Tremendous value.
Yeah. Especially, so you think
I can guarantee you that is the best showing for any fifth-round draft pick in the first preseason game. I'm mature. I'm like, listen, I made a mistake. I'm looking to trade Dillon Gabriel.
Okay.
Immediately.
Okay.
You know, he's got a hamstring injury. I'm looking to trade him, and the competition becomes between Flacco, Kenny, and Shedeur. Other teams saw in him that off the field, had to be off the field, couldn't be in this tape. Mm-hmm. But now you see the talent. You see the cream rise to the top. Mm-hmm. Very, very happy for him. Very happy for him.
Cris Carter, once a vocal critic of Shedeur Sanders, has had a dramatic shift in his stance. After spending just one preseason game watching Sanders in action, Carter has completely reversed his position, now calling Shedeur the future of the franchise. In a bold admission, Carter confessed he was wrong about Sanders, stating that his initial assessment was off. This is the same Carter who, not too long ago, argued that the Browns should cut ties with Sanders. Now, after a single game, he is adamant that Shedeur is the quarterback to build around. But it doesn't end there. Carter has taken aim at Dillon Gabriel, suggesting that his injury history could spell trouble for the Browns and that the team should look to trade him. The message? Make the competition for the starting quarterback spot crystal clear. In Carter's eyes, it's now a battle between Shedeur Sanders, Joe Flacco, and Kenny Pickett for the future of the position. But it wasn't long ago that Carter's opinion was very different. Not too far back, he openly questioned whether Shedeur even had the vision required to be a starting NFL quarterback. In fact, when discussing the Browns' quarterback competition earlier, Carter had argued that Dillon Gabriel, drafted in the 3rd round, was the better prospect and more likely to win the starting job ahead of Sanders. At that time, his stance was clear. Gabriel had the edge, and Shedeur was still a long way from proving himself. The sudden shift from doubter to outspoken supporter only underscores how quickly Sanders' performance has changed the conversation.
When you put down a 3rd-round pick on a quarterback, you do believe he has a certain skill set. Mm-hmm. Flacco is an emergency, a Band-Aid. If you start hemorrhaging out blood and everything, Flacco can stop the bleeding.
But now, Carter's praise extends well beyond Shedeur's on-field presence. He's just as impressed with how the young quarterback handles himself off the field. Carter pointed to Sanders' recent confrontation with veteran reporter Tony Grossi as a perfect example of his maturity and professionalism. Faced with a constant barrage of criticism, Sanders didn't shy away or lash out. He addressed it head-on. Instead of avoiding the issue, he calmly approached Grossi and asked for a clear explanation of the ongoing criticism, showing poise and self-control that's rare for someone so early in their career.
You control your image, and when people are saying things, you should be able to defend yourself. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad he approached it in a very professional manner. The way he spoke to him, the words that he used, the volume for which he used them. You know, he just asked for an explanation. It was very good. Very, very good. Very, very savvy for a young professional player to be able to challenge someone who's a veteran in doing what they do, coming into a new environment like the Browns.
Sorry. Tony, I be hoping you be, hold on. Tony, I be hoping you got something positive to say about me. You only say negative stuff about me. And I'm like, I ain't do nothing to you.
No, don't think that.
I ain't seen nothing positive that you ever say.
While Cris Carter praised Shedeur Sanders for his professionalism in confronting Tony Grossi, Colin Cowherd took a different view. Cowherd argued that, as a rising superstar, Sanders didn't need to engage with local media figures like Grossi in the first place. According to Cowherd, Shedeur is already operating on a higher level, and it's beneath him to seek validation or understanding from critics within the local sports scene. "You're above all of that," Cowherd stated bluntly, delivering a piece of advice that many young quarterbacks might need to hear. Cowherd's point was clear. Sanders has already proven his worth. His talent, his leadership, his composure, all speak for themselves. There's no need to seek sympathy or praise from local radio personalities or reporters who've made their careers off of controversy.
Shedeur, you're a good kid. Get out of there. Don't look for sympathy and support from local radio guy. Watch film. And again, it's not the end of the world. He is a good kid, but the judgment thing for him is going to have to be exceptional.
Carter, however, wasn't done with his praise. He went on to explain that Sanders' ceiling is incredibly high. He pointed out that Sanders has yet to play with the likes of Jerry Jeudy, but despite this, he has already managed to perform at a high level. Carter firmly believes that when Jeudy joins the team, Sanders' game will reach new heights, and the two will form a dynamic duo. In Carter's eyes, things are only going to get better for Sanders and the Browns once that combination is realized.
And Shedeur's got the best tape out there in the system with very limited reps with the players. You put the number one offensive line in there, you put Jerry Jeudy and the other starters in there, but what he did was very, very impressive.
Carter then shifted from big-picture praise to the finer details of Sanders' game, breaking down the plays he operated during the preseason matchup. What stood out to him most was Sanders' precision, especially a low throw to the receiver in the end zone for a touchdown. Carter described it as a trademark throw, the kind of placement that every quarterback needs to master if they want long-term success in the NFL. It wasn't just about getting the ball there, it about putting it exactly where only the receiver could make the play, a sign of high-level decision-making and accuracy that's rare for someone this early in their career. In Carter's eyes, it was a veteran-quality throw from a rookie who already looks like he belongs. Carter went on to make a broader point about the transition from college football to the NFL. He noted that every year, fans hear glowing reports about top college players entering the league, but many of them struggle to keep up with the speed and complexity of the pro game. The difference with Sanders, Carter explained, is that he stood tall to the challenge. Yes, at the start he looked a bit unsettled, a little fave, as Carter put it.
And we see it all the time. These kids come from college, and they are great players in college, and they just can't catch up to the speed of the game. You could see early, little off, not accurate. The game was moving a little quick, but then the game started to slow down for him, and he started operating a lot, making some of the same throws that he made in Colorado that we don't see young football players make. He's a good football player.
Carter summed it up with a bold statement. In his eyes, Shedeur Sanders is the best fifth-round pick the NFL has ever seen. He went even further, saying Sanders' debut was the best by any fifth-round quarterback in league history. For Carter, this wasn't just about one good game, it was about recognizing the kind of rare value the Browns had landed. They got him at an incredible price, he said, making it clear that in today's NFL, finding a potential franchise quarterback that late in the draft is nothing short of a jackpot. Cris Carter's transformation from skeptic to believer tells the story of just how quickly Shedeur Sanders is rewriting his own narrative. In the span of one preseason game, Sanders has gone from being labeled as a questionable fit for the Browns' future to being hailed as the best fifth-round pick in NFL history. Carter's breakdown of Sanders' accuracy, poise, and ability to adapt to the speed of the game paints a picture of a quarterback far more advanced than his drawn position would suggest. Yet, what makes this rise even more compelling is that it's not just about the throws or the touchdowns, it's about the person behind the helmet. Sanders' calm and calculated confrontation with Tony Grossi showed leadership qualities and mental toughness that many veterans never fully develop. Even Colin Collins' view that Sanders should rise above local criticism only reinforces the idea that he's already playing on a bigger stage. As Carter predicts, pairing Sanders with top weapons like Jerry Jeudy could elevate his game to even greater heights. Whether he truly becomes the Browns' franchise cornerstone remains to be seen, but one thing is clear: the conversation around Shedeur Sanders has permanently changed. Do you agree with Cris Carter's sudden U-turn on Shedeur Sanders, going from doubter to calling him the best fifth-round pick in NFL history after just one preseason game? Has Sanders already shown enough accuracy, poise, and leadership to be the Browns' future franchise quarterback? What's your take on his calm but direct confrontation with Tony Grossi? Was it a sign of maturity or confidence, or should he have taken Colin Cowherd's advice to ignore local critics? And finally, is Carter right to now put Sanders ahead of Dillon Gabriel in the quarterback race? Share your thoughts below.